Hello everyone and welcome to WhiskyWars. Today we have two Speyside whiskies. Well, technically one Speyside and one Highland whiskey, but I do tend to frame them in the Speyside category myself. But they're both sherry bombs and they're both bottled at 43% ABV and they're also both 12 years of age. So I think this is a really good review. Which 12-year sherry bomb should you go for out of the two? Because I do think buying both sometimes, especially if you're new to Scotch, don't buy both of these, buy one of these. They're going to give you a similar taste profile, but there are differences between them. That's what these reviews are all about. It's all about trying to help you guys with which one to go for. I'll just top up the Glenmorangie. Now, I have just recorded, so if you haven't already seen this, do check it out on the channel if you are interested. I recently bought a sample pack, 100ml sample pack of each bottle of 4 different Glenmorangies: the Nectar d'Or, the standard 10-year, the Lassanta, which is this one, and the Kinta Reuben, which is the oldest at 14 years, finished in port casks. So if you're interested in which is the best Glenmorangie, do check out that video that I've recently posted. But today we're going to be reviewing the Glendronach 12-year against the Glenmorangie 12-year, the Lassanta. Both 43% ABV. Now, initially when I bought this whiskey, I wasn't actually the biggest fan of this whiskey, even though I love my sherry bombs. Having it now, my tastes have changed slightly, and I'm appreciating this a lot more. There's this beautiful red fruit note in this whiskey that I wasn't picking up before. Really luxurious. It's compotty red fruits. Jammy. It's almost like a raspberry jam. But now I'm picking up a little bit of a caramel and a toffee note. It's not strong, but it is present. Now I'm also picking up on the nose a nut influence and also a little bit of a wood presence. Okay, let's move on to the Glenmorangie. Yeah, very different actually. The Glenmorangie is going to be softer, I think far more suited for a beginner. Both of these are safe whiskies, but I'd say the Glenmorangie is probably going to be a little bit more safe. It's just got that stronger caramelised toffee note. There's less wood spice. There's less of a nut presence, although I am picking up a slight bit of nut in this whiskey. There's less than the Glendronach. What I would say though is the Glendronach is actually giving me a higher quality sherry note than the Glenmorangie. And that's something that I never really knew about this whiskey, but that's the beauty of comparing similar whiskies side by side. It can elevate notes that you haven't really noticed before. The Glendronach's more complex. It's just got more about it. Having said that, I do think for someone new to Scotch, new to a sherry bomb, the Glenmorangie could be still the better option because it's going to give you less to focus on, but it's also going to give you a softer experience. It's not going to be as lively or as sharp. And that can really appeal to some people as well, or be a perfect gateway to get into it, then move on to a Glendronach and go, actually, yeah, I'm starting to pick up a little bit more wood presence and a little bit more nut influence and that sherry note that I was picking up, it's a little bit nicer in the Glendronach. And it's just a little bit of a stepping stone. Okay, let's get on to the taste, but before we do, if you do like these videos, or you are enjoying these videos, please do consider clicking the like button down below, but most importantly, if you haven't already, please do click that subscribe button down below. I know that I say this every video, but it really does help the channel to grow and give YouTube a reason to keep recommending my channel. So I'd really appreciate it if you can click that subscribe button. Okay, let's get on to the tasting. It's rich, a really nice sherry influence, but it doesn't dominate the whiskey. You're getting other notes in here too. I get nuts, I get some baking spices as well, some cinnamon, some ginger, keeping it lively. That wood influence does follow through on the taste as well, giving it a little bit more sharpness. But I do detect an alcohol note on this whisky as well, which I don't think I get on the Glenmorangie, but let's see. Less complexity, but softer. But the trade-off with this, the benefit that gives you, is you don't get that ethanol kick that you do pick up in the 12-year-old Glendronach. That's why I feel it could be better for newbies. I do think the Glenmorangie is more suited to that style of people. Also, I'm getting far more caramel and toffee on the taste. But the trade-off is it's more simple. This review actually leaves me in a difficult spot in terms of which wins today. I will tell you the prices. The Glendronach 12 is around £35, but can be up to £40 in the UK. The Lassanta is also a similar price to that, although on offer you can pick the Glenmorangie Lassanta for those low 30s. So if on offer, you might be able to pick it up a little bit cheaper than the Glendronach, but they're roughly the same price. And they're very similar on paper, both sherried, both from a similar region, both 43%, and both a similar price. It totally comes down to you. Personally, I do prefer the Glendronach 12. However, what I will say is when I first got into whiskey, I preferred the Glenmorangie, and I do know why. More ethanol kick in the 12-year. Not as dessert-like as well. However, more complex. It's giving you different things, different facets in your whiskey. If you just want a sherry bomb that's buttery, caramelised toffee with red fruits, go for the Glenmorangie. But if you like those nut influences, if you like a little bit more wood spice, but also that sherry note is a little bit tastier in the Glendronach. So I think if you're not new to this sort of style of whiskey, go for the Glendronach. So today, the winner today is the Glendronach 12. If you like the video, please do drop a like on the video and don't forget to click that subscribe button down below. It really helps the channel out, so I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this Whiskey War, and I hope to see you all for the next Whiskey War.